Welcome to the show. You watch UAP Truth 33. I'm John. I'm your host. In the last episode, I was speaking about how possibly they don't want to disclose the UAP subject because of possible economic collapse. But today, right now, we're going to check out some other news. We're going to see some other angles of this subject and exactly what's going on here. So check this out. I'm covering everything. Some UFOs may be hidden from our national leaders. It's from February 22nd, 2025. I don't know if any of you guys saw this article. Our ballistic missile defense people were very concerned. And then the article goes on, an unassuming loophole might be giving U.S. government and its private contractors free rein to withhold evidence of unidentified craft traveling well above our skies. That's the argument made by former Capitol Hill policy advisor and attorney Dylan Guthrie. This was published in January in the Harvard National Security Journal, a publication run by Harvard Law School. Guthrie spent 3 years as a legislative assistant to Senator John Kerry, covering national security issues. He later worked directly for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He describes this UFO loophole as a kind of definitional gap. Congress has redacted what was formerly called unidentified flying objects to first unidentified aerial phenomenon in 2021. Then the following year, they changed it again to unidentified anomalous phenomenon. As Americans have been learning a lot lately in the age of Elon Musk Doge, the devil is in the details when it comes to the nation's large and complex federal bureaucracies. Antiquated mid-century sci-fi concept like unidentified flying object. In fact, a lot of assumptions in the one short acronym. That's a reality lawmakers determined would hinder good faith efforts to seriously investigate more credible cases of UAP reported by the U.S. military personnel in recent years. Did the Navy pilots who witnessed the now notorious 2015 Go Fast UFO, for example, really see something that was aerodynamically flying, or was it just floating like a balloon? I have a lot of problems with that because that dude was having a hell of a time getting a lock on that object, right? And I feel like that right there proves that this thing was flying at an extreme rate of speed. If any of you have not seen the Go Fast video, I'm not going to show it here again because we've all seen it a million freaking times. But he was trying to get a lock on that object and he was having a lot of trouble. And I feel like if it was just floating slowly and that was all parallax, then why was he having such a hard time? And why were they celebrating whenever he got the lock on? I just want to ask that. Can some skeptic answer that? Tell me why that was? I guess you're going to tell me this pilot just sucked, right? Back to the article, man. We're talking about ball lightning a little bit, but as a term, UAP has offered a more broad and empirically conservative bucket for some of these still as yet unexplained events, categorizing them in a way that is not just more palatable to scientists and government officials, it also made it harder for secretive U.S. defense and intelligence agency to dodge the new annual reporting requirements now mandated by Congress as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, which, by the way, got gutted. It's nothing that it was supposed to be, and we're still being played by these people. Why? That's the question I ask here today. Why are we still being played? What's the rationale for it? Is there a big picture reason that we're not looking at? If so, then tell us. Tell us what it is, right? Why wouldn't somebody just come out and say, listen, guys, if we tell you, it's going to scare the shit out of you to the point where the economy is going to collapse, the country's going to collapse, society's going to collapse, and things are going to get real crazy. And we don't want that to happen. At least somebody say that. At least somebody say that. At least if you would say that, I might be able to accept it. Even though I might not like it, I might be able to accept it. Careful study of the NDAA's most recent definition for UAP, as Guthrie noted in his new article, indicates that data of any unidentified spaceborne only objects may be exempt. So here we go. More slimy, slippery BS, right? So if the thing's way out in space, it doesn't count as UAP. They don't have to disclose. They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to report it. Nothing, right? Which we already kind of knew that they were doing this slimy, slippery shit, right? Let's keep reading this loaded article. Under the current statutory definition, there are three kinds of unidentified anomalous phenomena, Guthrie told Mashman. First are airborne objects or phenomena that are not immediately identifiable. The second are submerged objects that are not immediately identifiable. So we got objects that are in our atmosphere, objects that are underneath the water, right? And then there's this third category UAP, which are transmedium objects, he continued. Those that are observed in transition between, on the one hand, space and the atmosphere, and on the other hand, between the atmosphere and bodies of water. Just under that strict reading of the definition, Guthrie said, there is no spaceborne only UAP. You see the big picture? You see what I'm saying here? So if it's only in space, right? If it's seen in space, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. That's the gist of the article. You see what I'm getting at? What I'm telling you guys? I think we've seen enough. That's the loophole. So there you have it. Another. It's frustrating, right? So unless the thing is seen coming from space into the atmosphere, it doesn't count under the definition of unidentified anomalous phenomena. It has to either be transmedium in our atmosphere or under our water. But space, things that are around our planet, just lingering, loafing, watching, we don't know because they're not going to tell us because they don't have to tell us. And folks, that's the deception. You see what's going on here? You see the big picture. That's the deception. This is just another hurdle that we're going to have to go through. It's hard. It's hard when you're trying to reach a goal, right? Imagine if you were playing football, right? And your team is driving down the field. They just keep moving the end zone further and further away from your team, right? That's what's happening here. They keep moving the goalpost back. Please, thanks for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, share it with two friends, because I think this needs to get out, right? This loophole that they don't have to tell us about. They've moved the goalpost on us once again. Thank you for watching UAP Truth 33. I'm John. I'm your host. See you tomorrow.